Oh, well, hello there. Fancy running into you here. Just kidding. We do this every Friday. Welcome back to the Facebook Live for Epic Charter Schools. I'm in a new location. This is my office. We're going to see how it goes. Cox Communications says the internet should be fine. But if I cut out, just hang in there. We're going to do our best to get through everything. Well, I'm really excited to be back today. So while we're waiting on a few more people to join in, why don't you throw me the thumbs up emoji if you're excited about fall? It's October 1st. Throw me some thumbs up in there. Okay, look at you go. I see some thumbs up. That's awesome.
Oh, well,
awesome,
hello
awesome.
there.
Oh boy.
Fancy running into. Just
Okay.
kidding. We do this every Friday. Welcome back to the Facebook Live for Epic Charter Schools.
There we go. So sorry. So we do have an amazing group here today. We've got Brianna and Shannon on the line. They are going to talk to us about family engagement. We've got a new kind of thing going on this year so that we can interact with you families way more. Bri, Shannon, thank you for taking the time to be on here today. You are so awesome. Why don't you guys start with telling me a little bit about who you are and how long you've been with Epic? Bri, why don't you start us out?
Okay. Yes, thanks for having us. We're so happy to be here. We have a new department that's just started this fall. There are 4 of us in the Fed department that were teachers with Epic. And starting that list is Leisha Albaugh, Christy Rich, Amy DePaula, and myself, Bri Davison. And then we also partner with Misty Klein in ELL. She's also part of our team as far as in the ELL department. And then we also have 3 EPATs. And these are Epic parents as teachers that are hired in Epic just this fall to give us a little bit of insight on the parent side and what the needs are and how to quickly find those needs and then find an answer for those. So that is why we've hired 3 EPATs. So our 3 EPATs are Shannon George, who's on this today, Mary Leet, and Kim Arnold.
Awesome. Well, what a great segue into Shannon. Tell us a little bit about you and how long you've been with Epic.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here today and a part of what I call the dream team. I have actually been with Epic for 3 years now. This is my first year to actually be an EPAT, an Epic parent as teacher. I am that person that if you go to Disney World or somewhere, I am going to help you find the answers. If you need to know where something is, I love helping. And so just to be a part of this group is exciting to help other parents. I was in public education for 20 years and got out to homeschool my child. And Epic I knew very little about it, but was interested in it. And then as I started hearing more and more and having lots of friends that worked for Epic, I was like, I think this is the right fit for my child. So I got to see it as a parent, but also coming from the public school, with that as my background, being a teacher, it was kind of difficult to navigate at first because there wasn't that quick person to ask those questions to that I was used to. And so Epic has created this wonderful department, and we have wonderful teammates. And the other 2 EPATs, Epic parent as teachers, Kimberly and Mary, are a wealth of knowledge, and I'm so excited to be a part of this group with them as well, because mine is she's in 3rd grade, and theirs are middle school and high school. And so they are such a wealth of knowledge already. And this department just started a couple weeks ago, and we've already done so much, and I'm so excited and looking forward to what comes out of this.
Yes, and the thumbs up are coming our way as we are speaking. So thank you so much. If you attended the first ever family engagement at 5010 last week, say yes. Let us see you. Acknowledge that in the comments section right now. And so, real quick, Bri, I want to talk to you about that. But before I do, families in the comment section as well, hit your yes, but then tell us what kind of things you'd like to engage in. How would you like to engage with Epic, and what kind of things would you like to see done for you and your students? So Bri, I'm coming to you now. Families, you know what to do. Throw it in the comments section, all right? Bri, what is the Family Engagement Expo, and how did this first one go for you guys?
So the Family Engagement Expo is an outreach from Epic to try to fill in the information gap that parents have with Epic. So our entire department is tasked with that. So we know that there's information gaps. So our plan is to host these events where parents can come throughout the state. So we did our first one in Oklahoma City, then we will do Tulsa, and then we have outlying areas that we will be coming to. So the expo is set up where when you sign up, you pick sessions to go to. So if you have a high school student and you want to learn about high school curriculum, high school credits, NCAA, plans for college, things like that, you might choose to go to that session about high school students. If you are really interested in how to help your pre-K students, first and second graders, we have a session for that, how to find resources and best practices for those grades. Then we also had a section that they could choose that was from the EPATs. So it's just a parent perspective. Our EPATs have students in elementary, middle school, and high school. So they're able to give one-on-one resources and information and help as a parent and not just coming from the teacher in that session. So each time we host one of these, we have sessions they can choose. And then we also have tables all throughout the halls where we have asked departments in Epic if they could send a representative from their department to be there to answer questions. So this week we had a table with someone from the Learning Fund department, someone from college and career readiness, multicultural programs, Z Space, the ELL department, Epic News, and many more. So we are wanting to also partner with those departments so that when parents take the time out of their day to come to our events, they're meeting with other parents, teachers, and departments within Epic to find those answers that they specifically need.
So handy that that you guys are doing that, and gosh, I know that there are several families who would love to have that vendor right there in front of them for the curriculum, for the learning fund. So what a great opportunity that you offered. Shannon, how can we find out where the next ones are? I know you've got one coming up here next week. How do I know where to get to that? How do I know how to find that out?
You can go to the Epic calendar, and there is a link on October 5th for the next one that is coming up in Tulsa. And the stories that I'm hearing that have come out of the first one make me just want to tell everyone that's in that area up there in Tulsa to sign up, register, get there. And there is a limited space, but there's still plenty for right now. But get on there and log in and get your spot saved. I have heard of parents just, coming out so excited and refreshed, kind of on the verge of like, I don't know if I'm going to stay with Epic because I have so many questions and I need a real life person to help me with this. And just walking out with hope, and some walking out with smiles, some walking out with tears. So that Oklahoma City event was such a success. And I just want everyone that can to get to go to the Tulsa one.
Yes, that's great. And I see people here, they're adding some comments. Just so you know, Mia says, I wish there had been a virtual option for those of us not doing stuff in person yet. Justin says, yes, a virtual option also. And Kristen said, I thought we were getting a video after it was done. We had an emergency come up. And so Mia and Justin, for what it's worth, those family engagements are a way to bring a more personal touch to Epic families. And I understand what you're saying. Everything they presented, we do have virtually already, except for the community part. So maybe we can find a way to live stream that community part, because I know that families are just wanting to be a part of community, even though that they're staying away from people to healthy, they want to be able to engage in activities. So that's a great piece of advice. All right. All right. I am not seeing a lot of questions, but Brandy did add, you may have already answered this, but what's the difference between going to the teacher session or going to the student session? That's a great question, Bri.
So are you saying what's the difference between going to the teacher's session and the parent session?
That's the question.
So our family day is set up mainly for parents. So we have a limited space at our event sites, and we want to still be able to social distance and make people comfortable. So we really have opened it up mostly for parents to come. We've asked every parent to bring a laptop, because when you get here, we would like you to open up your email, open up the Epic Charter School website, put the app on your phone, and then we are going to walk through all of those devices. So having a laptop is very important and helpful at our events. So they are definitely geared towards parents and trying to give more information on that. So I'm not sure if the question is about the teacher versus the parent sessions.
Maybe Brandy will give us a little bit more information as far as that goes. But I wanted to brag for half a second. I am really enjoying the Epic Charter Schools app. So I've got it here, and it's boom right there. And if I click in here, there are so many things available right now. We've got a carousel telling us, things. Power School is in there. I can see who the board is. I can click on the Epic calendar right here, or the College and Career Readiness calendar. I know that they've got so many things that they do. Find Your Future Friday. They're going to college campuses. I'm looking at today, FAFSA opens. Did you even know FAFSA opens today? But it's here in the app. And so great point in getting people to just realize some of the resources we have and then how to use them. We did a session here live last week about the different options, and so many people were floored. They didn't know we had a YouTube. They didn't know we had some of these things. And so I'm seeing a lot of that go up. Let me see. Amanda says it would be helpful to supply devices as opposed to asking people to bring theirs. Many still use desktops. Do you expect to add that in? What a great suggestion. And maybe we can, borrow from the Learning Fund closet before computers go back. That's a great idea. Brandy says, so as a parent, should I sign up for the parent session? Shannon, can you help her out there?
Yes, I would say that the parent session is where if you want to link arms with another, no other word to use, but another human that has some answers and can link arms in a socially distanced way, virtually, however that is, to get some answers of just, I need quick answers. If you're more, how do I work Schoology? How do I work Power School? Then that would be more of your thing. But if you're like, hey, here's my day-to-day schedule, and some days I wake up and it totally goes off the rails and I don't know if I can do this. I need someone that's been there, done this to tell me, hey, it's going to be okay. Just get back on the boat the next day.
Excellent. And Cassandra, right? A lot of people didn't. It's brand new this year. Cassandra says, I didn't know there was an app. And so real quick, I'm going to just show you again on my phone. Where am I? Here we go. On my phone, it's the little Epic Charter School. And you may have downloaded it a couple of weeks ago and see the 10 stars going around the outside. It's been updated to give us the logo that's not the 10-year anniversary logo. So either one is going to be right, and you're going to get information. We sent out notifications just yesterday about Q&A that's about to happen. So type into this app and see what's available to you is super awesome. My other favorite one is the forms section, and it takes me directly to all the different forms that I would need to fill out. Like, is my computer broken? Can I get counseling services? Can I get a diploma rent? You got access to all of those things right there in the app. It's pretty. Let me see. Amy says, teacher-led session, cover best practices from former EPIC teachers. Parent-led sessions are presented from our EPATs, and they share tips, tricks, and schedules, etc. They learned along the way that might be helpful to other parents. Great. Thank you so much, Amy. And she is one of our family engagement specialists. All right. Brandy says, the options were best practices, parent-led, or best practices, teacher-led. So, Brandy, the answers given here between Amy and Bri and Shannon have helped you out on which one you might go to. Now, Shannon, if I don't live in the Tulsa area, can I still attend the Tulsa area one because I missed OKC last week?
Yes, and I would encourage you to do that. But there's also some other ones. We have Lawton, and we have Ardmore, and we have Woodward that are coming up. So if that's closer to you, you may want to check those out. Or if you can't be at the Tulsa and you want to be at one of the others. So there's other options coming.
Excellent. All right. Well, I don't see a whole lot of questions here.
I've got another
All
one
right.
that we were going to talk about. So we are planning these expos that are more informational events geared towards parents and trying to bridge that information gap and also connect you with departments within EPIC. But we are also on the horizon working on academic field trips. So throughout the state, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, and all the surrounding areas. We are planning field trips that we can put on the EPIC calendar and that we can send invites to you to be a part of that will be connected with each of our subjects. So we are looking at doing field trips on, about science, history, math, and ELA and reading. So those are also going to be coming up and they will be on the calendar. And then we will also send invites just like we did for the expo. So when you wanted to sign up for the expo, you went to your email and you signed up in Eventbrite and then you got your confirmation. So we will do our field trips the same way where you will get a chance to sign up.
Excellent. Excellent. Let me see here. We do have a couple more things coming through. Laura says, update on the Tulsa Mid-High building permit. Laura, if you'll send that to me in email, I'll do my best to get you an answer and send it out, or maybe we need to send it out in other places. But no, I don't personally have an update on that one yet, so I apologize. Let me see. Brandy says, the high school ACT option. Would you recommend that one over best practices session if I have both students, high school students and elementary students? So which session would you recommend if she's got a high schooler and an elementary kid, ACT or best practices?
So we have 3 sessions. So we did have parents that had high schoolers and elementary and middle. And so what they would do is they would go to the elementary and then their next session, they would go to the middle school and then the high school. Our very last session, we called a coffee talk. And that was more just kind of a roundtable talk between the teachers, the EPATs, and the parents there to all share ideas. So usually what they did was they would pick their first top 2 that they wanted to go to. So if they really wanted to go to high school and middle school, then maybe during the coffee talk, they came to the elementary session. So because there were 3 options, they could come to all of them.
Awesome.
Some parents also chose to spend a lot of time in the hallway because we had so many vendors there and they really wanted to talk to our counseling services, or they really wanted to talk to the Learning Fund. So some parents spent a lot of time with the vendors and the departments in EPIC in the hallway. You know.
Yes.
I know some of the
And
conferences
Erin,
I've been to at EPIC. Yes, go ahead, Shannon.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, we purposefully designed this session, these expos, to be like that because we wanted everything to revolve around the parents. We're like, how can we make it the absolute best for them? And if you do have a high school student and an elementary student or vice versa, middle school in there somewhere, how do you go to that? How do you pick that one session? So we said, let's make multiple sessions, but short enough to give them enough of the information, but so that they could also go to a different session if they couldn't decide between the two. And then the vendors being in the hall, we definitely planned that because sometimes your question really needs to be answered by someone like from the Learning Fund and that you want to walk directly to them and ask that question. And then the icing on the cake, the part that I love the most is that let's wrap it up at the end with just a round table talk, a coffee talk, sitting around sharing, hey, what did you learn today? Or I didn't go to that session, but I went to that session and I learned this, because the knowledge is in the room. And when we link arms, we are better together. And so we didn't want people just getting a whole bunch of information and walking out the door and going, wow, that was so much, I didn't even get to process it. But maybe when they had that sit down at the end at that coffee talk at that table, somebody sitting beside them had an email or a phone number and they shared that and they've become epic buddies now. And our purpose for this family engagement department is to be that bridge, to be that liaison, to ask the parents, what do you need? What do you want to help? What can we provide you to make you more successful? So I love that, people are asking these questions because that just lets us get even more ready and prepared for the Tulsa and the other events, the expos that are coming along. And I want to piggyback kind of on what Bri said about these academic family engagements. When I first came to Epic and I heard things like, hey, we're going to go to Frontier City and we're going to have this back to school night, or we're going to the aquarium. This isn't necessarily that. This is different. Because of COVID and the new world that we live in, I have been calling these different locations saying, we would like to bring a group of students. So I just want to put this out there and say that when I call, a lot of them say, we have a restriction of only 20 people now, or we have a restriction of 150 people. So when you see those events, and you want to sign up and you're like, oh, we missed that one, there will be more coming. We want to provide lots of opportunities. And Oklahoma is a wealth of knowledge. And so there may be something that you've never heard of or done that we can bring to you through this. But not only going somewhere in Oklahoma and visiting, say, Cherokee to the Salt Plains or Hugo to the Elephant Arc, but not necessarily those locations, but having the ability to come together with other Epic families and other Epic students to build a bond that will last longer than just that experience. But we definitely want to tie it to the academic side as well.
Just say, my favorite conferences that I've been to, they've had a place outside where you could go and digest. I've gone to conferences where I've walked out of a session and thought, I need to do nothing else today but dive into what I just learned. And then I'll just take that time and then I'll go back to the session if I have another one to go to. But having those spaces to process is huge. And I thought it was funny. Amanda, that was me. I love talking to their curriculum companies. So, Amanda, I'm glad we can have those there for you. All right, ladies. There are no more questions coming through. Do you have any last words for the group?
For things that parents are interested in. So if you are a parent and you would like to see a session planned in the future, we are always taking notes and wanting your feedback. So if you think of something that you think would make a great session, we would like to, we're starting with what we have, what we would, but we want to change these throughout the year and add different topics. So let us know your topics.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for stopping in today. You guys have been great. I can't wait to see how we're engaging more with families. I know that was a big push for this year, and you guys are doing a great job already. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, for engaging with us through the comment section. As always, thank you for making Epic a top place to work and a top place to learn.